Welcome to this channel, which is devoted to a reading and better understanding of the book Ascent of Mount Carmel by St. John of the Cross. Today we're on the 25th chapter of the third book. In this chapter, St. John tells us that if we don't withdraw from taking joy that might come from the good things of the senses, and then redirect our rejoicing toward God, all the kinds of evils that St. John described in the prior chapters just might come to us. And in this chapter he provides us with some additional and very specific evils that may come to us from taking joy in the things of the senses. From taking joy in the things of the sight, we are susceptible to vanity of spirit and distraction of the mind, covetousness, immodesty, outward and inward unseemliness, impurity of thought, and envy.
Pretty baby, you really look so good. But these are homely girls are just a wreck in this neighborhood.
From taking joy from things of the hearing, we are susceptible to being distracted by our imagination, gossiping, envy, rash judgments, and vacillating thoughts. From taking joy in the things that we can smell, we are susceptible to loathing the poor, disliking service to others, unruliness of the heart in humble things, and spiritual insensibility.
I smell trouble way over yonder, way up there ahead of me.
Now please note that in St. John's time, some of these effects were probably linked to the fact that the poor were very likely not to smell very well. From taking joy from things of the sense of taste, we are susceptible to gluttony, drunkenness, wrath, discord, a lack of charity with our neighbors and with the poor, a desire for luxuries, and a spiritual lethargy. And with this, our desire for the things of God may lessen.
Well, you talk about your chicken, ham and egg, turkey stuffed and dressed, but I heard the voice of a pork chop say, "Come unto me and rest."
In this chapter, St. John has the most to say in regard to the sense of touch. And from taking joy from the sense of the touch, we are susceptible to effeminacy. St. John tells us that as luxury increases, the mind becomes more effeminate and timid. The senses grow soft and delicate, and we are predisposed to sin and evil.
The sissy culture is in full swing once again.
St. John tells us that from taking joy from the sense of touch, vain gladness and joy are infused in the heart. The tongue takes to itself license, and the eyes roam about unrestrainedly, and the remaining senses are blunted and deadened according to the measure of this desire. The judgment is to put into confusion, being nourished by spiritual folly and insipidity. Moral cowardice and inconstancy increase, and by the darkness of the soul and the weakness of the heart, fear is begotten, even where no fear is. St. John tells us that this joy may confuse us and enfeeble our reason. We may reach a state to where we can no longer take or give good spiritual advice. From taking joy from things related to the sense of touch, we can fall into the 6 evils and pitfalls that St. John described in the 22nd chapter in regard to taking joy in the physical attractiveness of others. According to St. John, by taking joy in the things of the senses, all of the senses, we are susceptible to falling off in our spiritual exercises and in fasting, lukewarmness, and a lack of devotion to taking the sacraments of confession and communion. Some of these evils may be more intense, commensurate with the intensity of the amount of joy that we take from the thing of the sense. Also, the way that these affect people are going to vary from person to person. Well, I hope you enjoyed this installment of Ascent of Mount Carmel. We'll be back again in about a week with another one. In the meantime, please pray for the church.
Well, you talk about your chicken, ham and egg, turkey stuffed and dressed, but I heard the voice of a pork chop say, "Come unto me and rest."